want to talk about pattern recognition and confirmation bias. I watched a video the other day where a delivery driver had driven across someone's freshly cut lawn, and the comments weren't really talking about the lawn. They were saying things like, quote, "I knew before she got out of the car what she was going to look like," or "How did I already know?" Now that got me thinking a bit. How do you know when you're recognizing a real pattern and when your brain is simply confirming what it already believes? People get these two ideas mixed up way too often. They're not the same thing. Pattern recognition is one of the greatest abilities of the human mind. Without it, to be honest, there will be no science, there will be no medicine, no engineering, no detective work, no mechanics, no electricians, no technicians. And as a field service technician myself, my job depends on how well I recognize patterns. If I see the same couple of machines fail 10 different times in a similar way, I'd be foolish to ignore that. So patterns do matter. In fact, reality leaves plenty of patterns. But here's the other side. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias happens when you stop looking for the truth and you start looking for evidence that you're correct. Here's the difference. Pattern recognition will ask this simple question: what is actually happening? Confirmation bias will ask the question: how can I already prove what I believe, or prove what I believe already? Those are two completely different questions. Imagine Amazon, for example, makes 20 million deliveries this month. 99.9% of those deliveries probably go very well. 5 of those deliveries might go viral because something outrageous happened. Now, guess which one your brain is going to remember? It's not going to remember the millions that went well. It's going to remember the 5 that went wrong. Our brains are incredible at remembering dramatic things, but they're terrible at remembering boring statistics. That's why anecdotes are so powerful, but they're also really dangerous, because one story can teach us something, but 1,000 stories can mislead us. If all 1,000 stories were selected precisely because they were unusual, they may tell us almost nothing about normal reality. Think about that. So here's the checklist that I want you to use whenever you notice a pattern. First, am I seeing enough examples? Second, am I remembering the exceptions, or only the examples that support my belief? And then third, could there be another explanation? Finally, what evidence would convince me that I am wrong? Now, that last question is incredibly important. If your answer is nothing, you're no longer investigating. You're defending your identity. One of the founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, once wrote that being willing to change your opinion when better evidence appears is a mark of wisdom. I could not agree more. Science works that way. Good detective work works that way. Good technicians work that way. And we should all do it too. So the next time you catch yourself saying, quote, "I knew it," or "I knew what she would look like before she stepped out of the car," I want you to pause for a second and ask yourself, did I actually recognize a genuine pattern? Or did I simply notice the evidence that fit the story that I was already telling myself? Because intelligence isn't just seeing patterns. It's knowing which patterns are actually real and having the humility to admit when they aren't real. More to come. This is the Digital Junto, a place where we're less interested in winning arguments and more interested in seeing reality a little bit more clearly. If this made you think, I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments. Take care. See you next time.